And we are going to go ahead and open up a public hearing on House Bill 3646, and I will ask Aaron to explain the measure while Rep. Tran comes up along with Dan Blue and Sean Jackson.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. House Bill 3646 comes to you from Representative Tran, comes to you with 31 aye votes, 27 no votes, and 2 excused from your House floor. Madam Chair, members of the committee, the measure adds entities in which employees own at least 50% of the ownership interest directly or through an employee stock ownership plan to a list of sources to which a contracting agency may give preference in procuring goods or services for public contracts. The measure becomes operative January 1st, 2026. It does take effect on the 91st day following adjournment sine die. It comes to you with no revenue impact and has a minimal fiscal impact, and there are no amendments before you this morning. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. Welcome.
Thank you.
We are really tight on time today,
Yes.
so please proceed.
Thank you, Chair Taylor and members of the committee. Last session, I am Thuy Tran. I represent House District 45 Northeast and a tiny bit of Southeast Portland. Last session, I worked to pass House Bill 3752 to give the state the option to, not a mandate, to prefer certain business in contracting. That same concept applies here. House Bill 3646 is modeled after that bill and adds employee-owned companies known as ESOPs to the list of businesses that can receive contracting preference alongside B Corps and in-state manufacturers. This preference is optional and limited to bids where the cost difference is under 5%. An ESOP is an employee stock ownership plan. Under federal law, it allows workers to own part or all the business and share in the profits. ESOPs are bipartisan in their support. A 2019 list of congressional supporters included Charles Grassley, Elizabeth Warren, Mitch McConnell, and Earl Blumenauer. The federal government has backed ESOPs for decades through ERISA. There are fewer than 80 ESOPs in Oregon today, but they employ over 30,000 Oregonians. Nationwide, the average ESOP business has just 67 employees. Most are small businesses across industries like construction, real estate, science, tech, and manufacturing. These companies don't just provide jobs, they build wealth. On average, ESOP workers retire with 3 times the savings of traditional workers. Black ESOP employees have 3 times the national wealth average for Black household. Female employee owners earn 17% more than their peers. ESOPs are good for business too. They reduce turnover, boost productivity, and are more resilient in economic downturns. They also keep companies rooted in their community. Right now, Oregon has over 43,000 businesses owned by baby boomers. Most don't have succession plans. This bill provides a tool to encourage more of them to transition to employee ownership, just like Bob's Red Mill did, helping save local jobs. Let's keep dollars local and give more Oregonians the chance to build asset through ownership. Thank you for your support of House Bill 3646. Recology and Bob's Red Mill are here to answer your questions.
Okay, welcome.
Good morning, Chair Taylor, Vice Chair Bonham, and members of the committee. For the record, my name is Dan Blue. I'm the Government and Community Engagement Manager for Recology Northern Oregon. I'm also a employee owner along with 4,000 of my colleagues of the company. Representative Tran covered a lot, so I've shortened my talking points here. A little bit about Recology. We've been around for 100 years, and we became an ESOP in 1986 when a group of family-owned businesses joined together to transfer ownership of their company to their employees. Today, Recology operates across the West Coast with 19 sites in Oregon, including in Ashland, Almsville, McMinnville, North Plains, Warrenton, Astoria, and multiple sites in the greater Portland metropolitan area. We provide curbside collection services to thousands of Oregonians, and we also operate 3 compost facilities, multiple transfer stations and recycling depots, and we are glad to be part of this effort to pass this bill. Unlike traditional corporations sending profits to institutional shareholders who may live out of state, ESOPs return their profits to their employees. This helps individuals build wealth, live comfortably, and reinvest in the communities where they live and work. Cutting out some of the things that Representative Tran said. I just want to say that HB 3646 follows HB 3572, simply extending the optional contracting preference that B Corps have currently to companies with over 50% employee ownership. This bill is narrow and permissive, giving the state contracting agency the option to provide this preference should they choose to do so, and this is important, after the mandatory preferences are already applied. Thank you for the opportunity to come before you today in support of HB 3646, and thank you for your time. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. And welcome, Bob's Red Mill in my district for now.
Well, we're planning to stay in the district.
Okay, good. Glad to hear that.
Dear Chair Taylor, Vice Chair Bonham, and members of the committee. For the record, my name is Sean Jackson, and I work as an ESOP administrator for Bob's Red Mill Natural Foods. Thank you for the chance to speak in support of House Bill 3646. We are 700 employee owners. We manufacture dozens of healthy whole grain products that you can find in practically any grocery store in the U.S., and we export our products to more than 40 countries worldwide. Our purpose is also our guiding principle, inspiring joy with wholesome foods. Bob Moore, our founder, had a vision of sharing the company profits and ownership with his employees. We became an ESOP to carry out this vision. Bob had offers to sell the company, but he wanted a succession plan that would be best for all the employees who helped build the company and would ensure that the company remained a local Oregon-based company. The employee ownership model was the best way to accomplish this. We are now 100% employee-owned. We are headquartered in the Portland metro area, in Milwaukee, Oregon, as a matter of fact, and operate a manufacturing facility and a distribution center. ESOPs build excellent employee engagement and commitment to continuous improvement. In addition, Bob's Red Mill retirement plan participants are 3 times more likely to have a healthy retirement wellness score that compared to industry benchmarks. For employees fully vested in our ESOP, this can be as high as 5 times more likely. So for example, over 68% of employees with 10 or more years service with Bob's Red Mill are tracking to have 70% or better income replacement in retirement. You can refer to item number 7 in the 10 best things about ESOPs. This is a handout on OLIS, where ESOPs improve retirement security. At Bob's, the average accumulated wealth for our employee owners compares closely to the amount shown in the handout. It's good to point out that this is a great wealth-building program for historically underrepresented groups, as Chair Tran mentioned. See number 9 in the 10 best things about the ESOPs handout. ESOPs reduce inequality. Chair Tran also mentioned that ESOP companies enjoy broad bipartisan support in Congress. Senator Ron Wyden and, as Chair Tran mentioned, Congressman Earl Blumenauer are known for being ESOP champions in Congress. Thank you for the opportunity to come before you today in support of House Bill 3646. We would ask that you please pass the bill to the Senate floor at your earliest convenience. I appreciate your consideration. Please let me know if you have any questions.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Any questions?
Chair Taylor, just briefly. So, love ESOPs. I think they're wonderful tools to transition ownership, to empower employees, all the things. And yet, I'm curious though, what's the thing that makes an ESOP more virtuous or more beneficial for the state to do business with than somebody else that they should receive additional consideration in a public contracting setting?
My answer to that, Senator Bonham, and Chair Taylor and the members of the committee, would be that, as Chair Tran mentioned, ESOPs are not widely known to current business owners. And as we're hitting a time in our country where a lot of baby boomers are transitioning their ownership and do not currently have succession plans in place, this would just be another encouragement for them to consider the employee ownership option. We think that it's employee ownership is a very favorable thing for the state to encourage.
Okay. Seeing no other questions, thank you. And thank you, Representative Tran. We're going to go ahead and close the public hearing on House Bill 3646.